You just can't help but feel that with this current administration, people around the world feel more emboldened to do these kinds of things. And it's just really awful.
Just when you thought the gay cruise going to the Middle East story couldn't get crazier, someone new has entered the discourse. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Your home for independent analysis and commentary on news and politics, as well as media and internet culture, and sometimes extremely unserious topics, such as this topic, which we already discussed to much fanfare. You guys love to click on this stuff, and not my serious analysis, of course, about the gay cruise to the Middle East, where they have now been turned away from 2 countries and potentially more to come. And I'll just insert a flashback clip from my first video that we'll put in black and white in case you missed it, so you know what's going on. Then we're going to discuss the latest update, which is simply diabolical. Really is. Anyway, here's that clip.
So I'm on the gay cruise that was denied entry into Turkey. And it's like, so what? Who cares? So we redirect. We're going to Egypt now instead. Amazing. What an upgrade. Never been to Egypt. Denied entry into Egyptian waters as well.
Sorry, but this is funny. Just like the surprise about the least surprising thing ever. It's like, can you believe God? Yes. Yes, I can believe that. Okay, guys. So I stand by that. I still find this hilarious. I don't really think they've been terribly victimized. I think they put themselves in an extremely predictable situation, and then it went predictably poorly. And I do find it funny how just a disconnect there is between the progressive sensibility about LGBTQ acceptance and then their perception of like Muslim countries. It's just, the logical thinking is not in the room with us. But I don't support them being banned. I want them to get home safe. Just maybe plan your next gay cruise for literally anywhere else. But here is the funny update that I saw. So here, the Daily Mail headline. Passenger on gay cruise banned from docking in Turkey and Egypt by Muslim governments suggests fiasco is Trump's fault. Surely not, right? Surely you can't be this delusional or this riddled with Trump derangement syndrome. And I say this as a Trump critic, a big-time Trump critic. But you cannot be this crazy, this riddled with TDS, that you think the reason the Muslim majority countries are declining entrance to the gay cruise is because of Trump. That cannot be real. Surely when we watch the video in just a moment, the Daily Mail, that's a tabloid. They must be exaggerating or distorting what he said or like misleading us, because surely no person could unironically make that a step. He did in fact say just that. And this is where we're at. This is what we're doing now. Let's watch his video.
As a gay man, it's really hard to hear. I know that this kind of prejudice is not new to these kind of countries. And obviously, I don't want to go anywhere that shares those kind of views. But you just can't help but feel that with this current administration, people around the world feel more emboldened to do these kinds of things. And it's just really awful. I would like to hope that the world is moving forward, but just kind of feels like we're moving backwards. But we will still be having a fabulous daytime wherever we are. Trust and believe.
Trust and believe, babe. We're going to have a fabulous gay time wherever we take our cruise ship, which we chose to take to the Middle East. And then we're blaming Donald Trump for them turning us away. Now, in fairness, it is true that in years past, this cruise line has apparently been able to go to some of these destinations, but it doesn't matter. The reason that they turned you away isn't because of who the president is, and it's not because of Donald Trump, which you can say a lot about him. He's not particularly anti-gay, right? He actually appointed, I think, the first ever cabinet level gay official. He appointed a Treasury Secretary who's gay. He's basically fine towards gay marriage, kind of indifferent on the issue. This is not something that, you could say that he's very stridently against the trans community, sure, but the gay community, not really. That's not a defining piece of Trump's legacy. In fact, he's taken a much more moderate tone on that particular issue than most previous Republicans. So to make it like, oh, well, and then there's almost actually, it's so ignorant, this take, that it's almost offensive. Like, you're almost suggesting that these Muslim countries don't have agency and are actually just shaped by like the West and by like what white people say and do. And in reality, he even seems to realize that it's not new and that these countries have had these attitudes and prejudices towards gay people. But then he's like, but they just feel emboldened by Trump. I promise you, that's really not it. In fact, it probably just garnered more attention or media headlines or went viral or got on the radar of some people this time around and not the past times, enough so that they felt pressure to do something about it and to not just allow it to proceed as it has in the past potentially. And then the other piece too that people point out in the comments that I did not originally think about is that these countries, it's wrong. I don't believe anybody should be banned from entering just because they're a gay cruise or anything. But these countries also potentially, as much as I believe, yes, the decisions probably are rooted in bigotry or prejudice to some extent, there's also a logical reason to potentially do this. If you know your country is very hostile to gay people and you have a bunch of loud and flamboyant gay tourists that want to come in, even for the safety of those tourists, it would make sense to deny them entry, because the last thing you want is for them to come in and get hurt or get beat up or have a problem or have some sort of altercation or whatever. It's probably for the best to not let them in. Now, obviously, your country shouldn't be so virulently homophobic and you should probably work on that, but they're not gonna. But letting them in isn't even a good idea for the tourists, really, in the given circumstances that do exist, whether we like them or not, whether we wish it were so or not. So all these people are so upset. And it's like, again, did nobody think of this beforehand? That your gay cruise might not be well received in the Middle East? I just can't imagine that wasn't something that crossed your mind. And if it isn't, then there must not be a lot. Like, shake your head and let me know if you hear rocks, because there must not be a lot happening up there if you really thought that you were just going to do a little gay cruise to all the hottest ports in the Middle East and be welcomed in. It's actually, the reason I think this story is resonating is because it's just a kind of a microcosm of the like bubble that some people live in, where they're so strident yet ignorant at the same time. And then their desire to view themselves as victims is so overwhelming that they can even turn situations that are just entirely their own fault into somehow like them being just, oh, I was just going about my life and just this terrible thing happened to me. And then they can even make it about Trump. That is like just the chef's kiss of this story. That is the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae of delicious irony that is this story, is one of them going viral for making this about Trump. It's not about Trump. Not everything is about Trump. And Muslims not being down with gay cruises certainly has nothing to do with Donald Trump. How is this serious? Oh my goodness. I'll read you a couple comments that this guy got on in response to his video. Has this dude ever looked into what Sharia law actually says about gay people? Or is every single thing just Trump's fault? Good question. So Egypt and Turkey would have welcomed him in with fanfare and waving pride flags if Kamala Harris had been the president. The mental gymnastics involved in blaming Trump for 1,400 years of Islamic hatred and violence towards anyone they consider haram is certainly impressive. It really is. And that's an interesting counterfactual. I mean, is this guy suggesting that under President Kamala Harris, their gay cruise would have been welcomed into Muslim majority countries? I guess it's a counterfactual, so it's not really possible to conclusively know one way or the other, but I'm going to hit the doubt button on that one. You know that GIF that's like, press X for doubt? That's me. I'm on Xbox pressing X. Anyway, I love this story. As much as I want these people to be safe, I don't want any harm to come to them, I do find their tears delicious. Like, just the sheer delulu of it all is just delicious to me. And I love this story, and I found this update funny as well. So hopefully you guys got a kick out of it. Do let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do hit the like button to reward my suffering through the stupidity that I come across on the internet every day and catalog for you guys. And do make sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't yet. And then as well, please consider hitting that join button and becoming a channel member to support my work. It's also the link in the pinned comment or the description. It is the best way to support me in especially supporting my serious substantive journalism and commentary like this video. Well, to be fair, like other videos I do. And then we also do entertainment slop like this, which y'all seem to click on a lot more. But anyway, I do try to be fair and honest and not just, pander to one side or the other. So that is unfortunately, in our current time, not the best business model, meaning that if you just pander to one extreme, you can get millions of subscribers and make millions of dollars. But I don't want to do that and have no interest in doing that. But the upside of that is that I do need support from viewers like you. So do hit the join button or click the link in the description to become a channel member if you can, but regardless, you are appreciated for being here, and we'll be back with more insanity, I'm sure, real soon.